possibly worst timing to go live. So I'm going to talk fast, hopefully not too fast that you guys are understanding here. Happy Friday, TGIF. We made it. Please go watch my first 2 lives I made today. Kind of filming in between work right now. Yeah. So bear with me. I am pulling up this document here. It is a document that is talking about the girls, more people coming forward, discussing the victims specifically. And again, if you did not watch the lives, the 2 lives that I just made, specifically the last live that I just made, go watch that first, go get angry, go get triggered, and then come back here, because we like to paint people who have passed away as like perfect angels, and nobody's perfect. We all have flaws. And please, when I pass away, yeah, be honest. Say I was a biatch or whatever. Say I was blunt. Anyway, this document is saying these girls had issues with sorority girls and also had a stalker. So give it a like. Give the video a like. I'm pulling this up now. It's a 5-page document. I'm going to get right to the nitty-gritty. This is one of the most important documents here, I believe, that were dropped. This is Law Supplemental Narrative 42, typed up by our favorite officer, one of our favorites, Mary. I don't have time to discuss the first couple pages, but these are like gold nuggets being dropped here, right? They're talking about the series of events according to Dylan's point of view, but they're also asking Bethany some questions. They're also asking what I believe to be Hunter Johnson and Emily some questions. And basically their point of view and how they found the bodies, how things happened. And there are, in my opinion, some contradictions. By the way, this is my disclaimer before we get started. My opinions, my theories, these are to be utilized for entertainment purposes only. So let's talk about JM, right? So JM is somebody who was born in 2003. Let me know who you think JM is in the chat and in the comment section as well. JM said she texted B, Bethany, probably at 11:20 hours on the mornings of 11/13/22. J asked B if she was awake. J said B called her back at 11:49 hours. B told J, so Bethany told J, she and Dylan were in Bethany's room. J said Bethany was freaked out because her roommates were not answering the phone. J said she heard Dylan, probably, it's a D, because, yeah, Dylan is in the room with Bethany, we know that, on the phone in the background saying, I saw something. J said Bethany asked her to come over to 1122 King Road and pick her up. J said Bethany texted her while she was driving there and said, E and H were on the way as well. E and H, I am assuming, is Hunter and Emily, his girlfriend. J said as she arrived, MPD units were arriving as well. So they called her before they called the cops, just so you know. Just so you know. For people who are still saying that the victims were not at the house, they were at a hotel. No, bitch. I'm sorry, no. Unless you have proof, unless you have images and live videos that have not been manufactured, these girls were at the house, right? Jay says she did not go to the party, but went to a different one instead. Jay said Bethany and Dylan came to this other party after she left. So JM is a she. Estimated Dylan left her party at 12:30 in the morning. And Bethany left her party at around 1 a.m. on 11/13/2022. So Dylan and Bethany did not leave together according to JM. JM said she was in blank with DLB and Zanna. I'm assuming in some type of sorority with probably Dylan, whoever L is, it's a female. It's not Loesch, it's a female, right? Bethany and Zanna. Jay said Zanna and Maddie were both in blank sorority, but they dropped out. Another typo. So many typos here. And Kaylee was in blank, but dropped as well. So all these girls are getting dropped, right? They're dropping from their sororities. Jay suspected the girls dropped their respective sorority because of issues with other girls in the houses. Again, none of us are perfect. This is not to shame any of the victims, not to shame them. If they dropped out, they dropped out. If they were dropped, they dropped. Were they dropped? Did they choose to leave? But it says JM suspected that they dropped their respective sororities because of issues with other girls in the houses. Meaning what? Let's be honest with each other for once, please, please. Right? This is not about money, I don't think. Those girls had money. Okay, they're buying Range Rovers, they're traveling, they're blah, blah, blah. This is not about money, I don't think. This is not about fees. There's somebody here saying they had issues with other girls in the houses. That sounds like, you know how girls can be. Let's be honest, you know how girls can be. They can push other people out of social circles, so on and so forth. What kind of issues were these girls having with their respective sororities? JM specifically cited girls in the executive board who tell other members what to do. Jay suspected this was what they didn't like. See, it's not about money. They didn't like being told what to do by these girls in the executive board in the sororities. This is not about money. The issue regarding the sorority is not about money. Jay said the girls who were still active members of the sorority who chose to not live in the house did so because of money issues. Okay, that is separate. Okay, so Jay is saying, yes, there were other girls that were still active members that didn't live in the house because they couldn't afford it. But for the ones that dropped, which was who? Kaylee, Zanna, Maddie. Sounds like they had issues with the girls in the executive board. Again, why does this matter? They don't like being told what to do. When you join a sorority, when you join a fraternity, wake up call here for a lot of people who don't realize it. It's literally a cult, okay? I can tell you, somebody who has a pile of degrees, myself, random degrees, and attended like amazing universities, right? We're exposed to sororities, fraternities, what goes on. This is a cult. And if you don't follow the rules that the cult members, aka the executive boards, want you to follow, you're not going to fit in. You're going to have issues. And depending on how much information you may have or how much they hate you, they can really make life really miserable for you. But what stood out to me even more was the next comment that JM made to Officer Mallory, right? JM said Maddie was Bethany's big sister in the sorority house, but JM also said she knew Kaylee saw a dark figure staring at her from the tree line when she took her dog Murphy out to pee. So here, what do we have? Already several people talking about Kaylee having a stalker. Do you think Kaylee was just going around telling people she had a stalker just for shits and giggles? I don't think so. If those words come out of a woman's mouth, it's probably because she is concerned, right? She's probably concerned. So here she is, Kaylee, letting people know that she has a stalker. There was a dark figure watching her from the tree line when she took her dog Murphy out to pee. It sounds like she had been stalked for a month. What's the other thing that happened a month before or so, 3 weeks before? Jack Decor was dumped by Kaylee. Is there a correlation there? Let me know your thoughts. Could there be a correlation there? JM said this occurred about a month ago at 1122 King Road. Did they ever tell the cops? Did they ever mention it to Moscow Police Department? And if they did, I want to know if they actually put in a report or made a call, because then this is something that could potentially fall back on Moscow PD if they didn't do any follow-up investigation, right? Every little detail matters here. JM said there had been lighthearted talk and jokes made about a stalker in the past. JM said all the girls were slightly nervous about it being a fact, though. So they kind of nervously joked about it, okay? But it happened. They were being watched. Specifically, JM mentions Kaylee being watched. And what's interesting is that we know that, according to the reports, the weird stuff on November 13th started happening right after Bethany and Maddie took Murphy out to pee. So was the stalker watching him out there from the tree line as he had been watching for the past month or so? It's very possible. JM did not indicate any social media issues or issues between the girls who lived together. So they didn't have issues amongst themselves, allegedly, according to JM's statement, but they did have issues with the other girls from the sororities, which is why the girls dropped their respective sororities, because of issues with other girls. Is it possible that the stalker maybe wasn't an ex-boyfriend? Is it possible that maybe the stalker was an angry sorority girl? Enough to do something stupid. JM said the front door had issues with locking and sometimes it could be opened without a code, which is interesting because in this same page, we have Dylan Mortensen being interviewed. You know what she said? We always locked our doors. We always locked our doors. And when you read every single interview, what is everybody and their mama saying? They're all saying, yeah, everybody knew that those people in that house never locked their doors. Like their doors were always wide open, almost never locked. So everybody knows, but Dylan, for some reason, is saying, yeah, we always locked our doors. Maybe it's because she's afraid. Maybe it's because she doesn't want to be held accountable. Maybe because she knows it's going to make her look a certain way, potentially, if she is saying that they didn't lock their doors. But here we have somebody who doesn't even live at the house saying, yeah, everybody knew that this front door had issues with locking and sometimes it could be opened without a code. JM says she did not know that she did know the code. She knew the code. So again, teach your children to, even if they're grown adults, right? Even if your children are grown adults and they're in college, teach them not to share passcodes, because why does JM have the passcode? You don't live there. Who shared it with you? And did JM share it with anybody else? Or did anybody else that knew the passcode share with somebody else? You're putting yourself in such a risky situation when you're living in a place where everybody knows you don't lock your doors. You're living in a place where it can be opened without a code, and you're living in a place where everybody and their mama actually knows the damn code to the front door. JM said she was unsure if the residents kept the backsliding door locked regularly. Well, everybody else said that they didn't, so lock your doors, people. For people saying that L is Loesch, it's not Loesch, by the way. It's LB, right? The initials are LB. LB said he did not go to the party. LB said he went to sleep at 8 p.m. At 8 p.m., that's early. At 11:12:22. At J apartment on Taylor Avenue, L said he woke up around 2 or 3. L said he, J, and E were up talking in the living room. So who is LB that was up talking to? Probably J and E. Who is J? Who is E? Who is LB? And they were talking in their living room until about 5 in the morning. L indicated H was present but not awake during this time. L said they all went to bed at this time and woke up again around what he thought was 9. L said H and E came into the room where he and J were. L said D had called E around 10 and sounded scared. sounded scared. Why are you sounding scared at 10 in the morning when nobody supposedly knows what's going on inside the King Road residence? What do you know that's going on? Was Dylan already texting people? We know she was on social media. Who was she reaching out to? And why did she lie to cops? Remember, she lied to police. She said she fell asleep after 4 and didn't wake up till noon, but we know that's a lie. We've seen the receipts of the phones where both her and Bethany were constantly on social media. Not only that, but they both contacted their parents. And now we have here people that are saying that they were afraid, that people were sounding scared around 10 in the morning. Why are you sounding scared? Elle said Dean told E someone had been in their house last night. So they already knew. At 10 a.m., they already knew that somebody had been in the house. So D told E. Dylan told E someone had been in their house last night. Dylan told E. Who is E? Who did Dylan tell before 10 a.m.? Dylan was spreading the news far and wide, it sounds like. Elle said D informed them she did this because of her seeing someone in the house and Dylan could only see his nose and his chin. Elle said Dylan was freaking out and wanted them to come over to 1122 King Road. By 10 a.m., she had already contacted people. She had already let them know she was scared. Why are people still defending the fact that to this day, she's still lying to our face? And not only that, but actually, in my opinion, has the audacity to go ask for money, right? Some of you guys mentioned that she's got a GoFundMe. Some people have mentioned that it is the responsibility of the Koberger family that they should have to pay for her mental health care. We have so many documents that have been unsealed that we have access to that I am revising for you guys because I need the truth to come out. It's going to come out, right? None of it makes sense. We have so many shady individuals surrounding this case. We have a guy with a covered head to toe in black, doesn't come back to his dorm until after the crime, 12:25 p.m. on November 13th. Was he even actually investigated? Here we have Dylan reaching out to people before 10 a.m. We're supposed to be stupid, right? We're supposed to be stupid and believe that, yeah, don't ask questions. They were sound asleep. They were sound asleep. So they were frozen in shock. Remember, not Dylan's words. Whose words were those? Bill Thompson's. The state continued to say to this day that those girls were frozen in shock. I pray that all of my followers are smart, intelligent, capable human beings to be able to see through the bullshit. Because something is not right here. And whether we have an innocent man sitting in jail for almost 3 years now or not, there is no reason that he should have been arrested with so much data, so much information pointing to other potential perpetrators, right? So much doubt in this case. So that's all I have for now. Maybe I'll see you guys later. I am not sure. There are so many documents and I still have to do my day job. So please leave a like. I never ask for money, never ask for anything, but I do ask you give it a like, and I do ask you vote in the comment section because it will promote the algorithm. It will promote this video to get out there to more people, which means what? Which means the truth gets out there. So thank you guys. Take care.